So it's been a while since my last video, um, but I've just moved house and I finally got set up, and so this month I thought, right, I'm gonna get stuck back into it. I've done a few casual jams, like 1 or 2 day ones, just to kind of tick me over um, as I kind of ease back into it. I think I did a side wide and gully, which I think was 2 days perhaps, and I also did kitchen swipe because I was a gold member of gamedev and I got given the asset pack, and so I did that. At the moment, I'm working on this bloody chunks for the bullet time jam. I'll bring up the details here. Bullet Hell Jam 5. Now, we joined this because it was a serious crowd taking part, 2,069 people, although entries, it's anyone's guess, like I suppose 700 or so would be my expectation. Anyway, so I got a team of three that I on and off work with. I often work with Fidel Delgado, who does sound effects and music and also bounces ideas, a regular collaborator of mine. And then Matt Danger Cooper, my homie who is going to help me out with some art. He's been a bit tied up this time, and this is our first one going into the month. So Bloody Chunks is, I think we have maybe another about 7 days left, and hoping to bang some of that out, but Matt hasn't been too much of it yet. It's been all me and Delgado. I really wanted to let them kind of put through some ideas because I often kind of end up banging my own ideas. But that said, we've got two other jams coming up this month. So we have, and my jams joined here, gamedev TV 2024. Now these are really good. The gamedev TV, if anyone's done the courses, when you take part in any entry, you get given a free course on their website. And so, I mean, even if you use it a little bit, it's super useful, and again, it's fun. Best way of learning is to take part in these things. So looking forward to finding out about the theme. That one's coming up in 10 days. And now save the best for last. Now, one that's very close to my heart as a regular G developer is G-Develop. Now, I haven't done all the jams. I think I might have done their first or second one, and I've skipped a few, doing other ones in between, like the GDKO. But I love G-Develop, and so it's good to represent. I've been in the community for a long time, so hopefully I'm vaguely recognizable. Uh, I'm still learning every single day, but this one's super close to my heart. So Bloody Chunks might be battling for attention, but let me explain Bloody Chunks while where I'm in my dashboard. Because I put up my prototype so far. So something I've learned from doing game jams is sometimes in that last moment it's really crazy to get your game up there, and so I just submit my game as soon as I start getting a bit of a prototype together. Now, what me and Fidel came up with is we wanted blood and chunks and to fire blood and throw body parts. And so that's where Bloody Chunks has come from. He kind of tried to inspire with an initial soundtrack that was kind of going like bullet themed, and you're going to get to hear it in a second. Or if it doesn't play very well, I'll play a little bit of it over the track. But of course, going on to my itch.io and searching Bloody Chunks, you'll get to hear it. It leads straight into the intro. And so what it is you're a killer, this gimpy looking dude here, and angels kind of come to battle you. So it's kind of a boss fight theme with like blood and gore. So firing blood at the angel and throwing body parts. And now you can go, where are you getting the blood and body parts from? What we've come to is we always wanted a blood gun, a blood kind of gun that we've kind of built. But I decided it could be cool, like if his hands are the guns and he's kind of slit his wrist, like just to keep the whole darkness going. And what it's going to be is this dude's got like some kind of torture murder dungeon, and he's got victims there. And so in between your boss fight, you go off and murder someone to recharge your blood and collect body parts and stuff, and then go battle again with it. We're hoping to do several kind of boss iterations through it. So it's, yeah, very boss fight themed with those kind of like interesting decorations. I'll show you what I've got so far. So we're about 3 days in. I haven't done much today. Um, but here we go. Proudly made with GDevelop. If I was still a gold member, I'd put blood dripping off the ladders. But sadly, to get my 100 points, yeah. So this is the inspirational track. Of course, I'll build out a little eventually. Yeah. But for now, just create. Now, some of the ideas with the game is like how to draw people. So, like, high score is probably an important factor. I've kind of decided after kind of compressing down to a GIF and cutting out the second frame, so I'm going to speed it up, which I find often with my game jam games. They're a little bit slow, like even though they don't feel like it. And rather than do each little thing, like speeding up the whole game processing by 1.5 or 2 may well get me where I want to be with the game scene. Look at that go. I've had a few little bits of feedback with the people I shared that had a look at it. Like from my last game, it was like a bug battler. Or one of my games that I got feedback on. It was to add a dash and it was invaluable. But of course, when I was making it, I wasn't thinking it was as good as it could be. I kind of like this bit of the tune. Although I was trying thinking, like with the inspirational track, how does it all feed in? And so it's all really good now. It kind of builds into a gun crescendo. And of course, like guns, like the current what we're looking at is a says so like when the SWAT team comes after them, maybe that's where they some kind of story. Alright, let's have a look at the game. So what I did is I've got a practical character firing. Nothing well, as you've probably started to notice, I cocked up the sound a little, so I'm going to be tuning it down, and I'll try and recap where I was at. So basically, there's no collisions at the moment as far as the bullets go, but there will be. The player's made up of multiple parts. I just tried some different techniques with like kind of animating different parts, mainly to allow the arms to do different things while the body and legs do different things without needing a million sprites. As I said with the blood gun, I really put in a lot of focus on that, and there's randomized drip patterns and lengths and things, and also blood at the bottom of the walls and then blood splats on the floors. So I worked hard on that. I was quite proud of my blood. It's got a thin transparency. As you can see with the floor, it kind of layers up, and what I did there is I made another layer of just the cracks on the floor and made it like maybe 80% transparent, so there's always going to be those cracks no matter how deep the blood builds up, which I thought that was a neat design choice. Now I'm looking forward to building out the level, have some SWAT units around this angel creature that's, as you can see, just a placeholder of the character at the moment is his head, but eventually it's going to be made up of different bits that'll be vulnerable at different times, and you kind of smash off a wing bit or something. We can go for an angel that's not a traditional one, although I do like the humanoid one, so I might do a twisted version of the humanoid and it will morph into something more metaphysical. And of course some different bullet patterns. As you notice, well, you probably can't notice now, but the sound of the angel's bullets builds as you go further away. And I thought that was good because, like, when you're in that combat zone, you don't want to, especially if it's got other attacks, you don't want to be overwhelmed by that sound, but you can still hear it. and then you head down to that bottom area, it gets louder. What I was thinking in the bottom area, that's where the prisoners are going to be, the captives, where you go and slaughter them and get your blood to restock your blood bullets and collect body parts to throw at the angel. Because of course you're a killer. In the middle here, that's going to be where the dead SWAT are that have kind of broken in, and you've killed them as well and survived the day, but the angels come for you. Now, like when you go through that bottom area, I'm thinking that you get a knife instead of the blood gun, and then you do some knifing and running around. Haven't quite figured out what that looks like. As you can see, I haven't figured out the side walls yet, but I will. And obviously, we're getting some set decorations too. Yeah, basically, I'm pretty happy with it. Like, obviously, with those other jams going on, like it might, I don't want to lose too much focus, but it's possible the GDevelop one's rather important to me, and so if the theme really speaks to me and I get on a go, then I might, redirect a lot of my focus there. But I will definitely continue building out Bloody Chunks. And an important thing for other people like thinking about getting jams and game development, I do this channel, and I not because I'm the best, I do it just to show people what I'm up to and kind of put my story out there. And it's kind of cool to show what GDevelop can do or what you can do with it. And I'm in no way. I've met many people that blow my mind. But not everyone puts it out there and talks about it and shares it. But one thing that I do is every time I enter a jam, I submit as soon as I have a working prototype that I keep on updating. And that way, if something happened in my personal life and I was busy, at least I'd have a game that's submitted that someone can play, even if it's just like this, where there's no score, no end game, but someone can look at it and go, oh, that's neat. I think it's really important, even if your game doesn't work, at a point to put it forward, that just builds your confidence and shows people what you're up to and what's important to you. And so I definitely encourage people, like, even if you're like, oh, I can't show that, I haven't finished it, or it's not as good as I like, just do it. It's, you learn the most doing these things. They don't have to be a masterpiece, but I'm proud to look back at my little collection there. And if anyone does go through my back catalogue, I'm sure you'll find one or two that are severely broken, a few that aren't fun, and then varying degrees of finish or game. A few of them have endings and stuff and high scores, but they're all things that could be more. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to like and subscribe if you're enjoying my content. It's much appreciated. And if you've got any questions, reach out. It's great to be part of the game dev community.